arguing. Oh, what is this? What they'll do is they'll just get in the car and they'll just drive to round the corner. I've caught people doing it. So I don't get the argument. There really don't need to be one. I ain't saying they should
I've
do
done that
that, but I'm
myself.
just saying, yeah,
I've done
I
that
don't get
myself.
what the
I was
argument's for.
told, literally by J Dog, I can remember it. I was rank 4. I just was waiting. No, I'd done my M4 training when I was waiting for my M4 test, and at the time it was Miss Revenge. She said, "I'll give me 10 minutes and I'll be back on." So I was just going to hang around for 10 minutes to do my M4 test, and then J Dog comes along and said, "Go out on patrol." I was like, "Oh, but I've got go on your patrol." And I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" So I jumped in my little Crown Victoria and I just parked around the corner, literally parked around the corner, and came back in 10 minutes as soon as I see Miss Revenge back online, because I thought, I'm not going to win this argument, because obviously I can't remember if it was a rank 8 or rank 9 back then. And I just thought, instead of the argument, because you know what J Dog's like and his voice just grates on you after a while, I thought, just fucking leave the
Yeah.
station and come back in a minute. He thinks I'm doing what he's told me to do, and I can just sit around the corner and just wait in a car. It's no difference, really.
Yeah, and I've known people have done that. Hello, but you are right on that. It saves any argument. They think you've gone and done what you've done. You're at the station, you're being seen, and you ain't
It's just taking
arguing.
a higher ground, isn't it? That's what it is. It's being diplomatic, but not being what's the word if you don't follow an order? It's not being insubordinate. It is,
Insubordinate.
I've gone out of the station like he's asked. I'm not going to go on patrol because I've got to be back in 10 minutes. As soon as I get anywhere, I'm going to be called back.
And you don't want to be later for when she comes on because then somebody else is going to grab her. And that's the thought
No,
process
because
you've
Miss
got to go
Revenge will
around.
bloody shoot me and punish me for not being there when she's told me to be, because she was quite harsh, if we're honest.
Oh, no, she was. I had to tell her.
I am going to review what you sent me, but the fact is that even earlier on, when you were told to go out of the station and do your duties, you said you wouldn't because Big Roses had said, what did he say? That you couldn't go to HP or something? Can't actually remember what it was. I wasn't the one that received that information. The point is, your duties are not only to HP, it's to the whole faction.
Right,
There's
okay. I'm
no problem. I will.
Yeah,
I
I
will
think
get
we'll
back
have a
on
look at
that.
that one. Yeah, because Marcella does seem to have a clue, so let's have a look at the body cam for that one and then get back to you.
So I think I was down there. I can forward my body cam, but you know when we were saying everyone has to go 2s or 3s as a minimum, and we all need to protect the city. But then you did say you were going to sit this one out, and you said that you know I can do it on my own, and I said, but the order has been given for 2s and 3s.
But this is the point that everyone is failing to understand. You do not choose when you want to go or how you want to do it. You follow a direct order, and that's simple as that. There's a chain of command, and we follow it. This is police station. IRL, you wouldn't have so many chances. I'm speaking about you, but I'm talking in general because today it happened to you, it happened to Dylan, but it's just an overall statement. IRL, if someone tells you to do something in PD, you do it. You don't question it. You don't delay it. You don't do it when you want to do it. Do you understand? And what did we say? What did we say? We said we'll explain everything later. We're trying to sort things out. We are trying to handle everything, and we are being bombarded with questions that we cannot answer at the moment. So the good thing to do in the meantime is just follow instructions, and whenever the time comes, you'll hear about what's happened, and you'll receive any information you need to receive.
So I'll give you an example. I've put NRP up. So I actually was a police officer when I was 21 years old, and I was in Norfolk, which is where I'm originally from. So I was on duty as a probationary police officer, and a sergeant, just a sergeant, so the next level up from a PC. So that'd be like a rank 3 telling a rank 2. They were deploying everybody for where they needed to be for that particular duty. And one officer was like, "No, I ain't doing domestic cars again. I was on that. I've been on it all week. I'm not doing it." And the sergeant went in front of the whole parade room, 30 police officers. "You will do it. That's what your allocated duty is today." And the officer went, "No, I'm not comfortable. I was doing it all last week. It's not really very fair. I want to do something different." He was sent home. He was suspended there on the spot. Later on, he actually lost his job. He didn't get a rep. He didn't get a warning. It was a straight up disciplinary insubordination. I know it's slightly different on here. We've got different rules, but just relating it to IRL so people understand. It was a sergeant. It wasn't an inspector, a chief inspector, or the commissioner of police. Because you have to think in this setting, Betty is the commissioner. Then you've got deputy commissioners. You've got, all of the superintendents, chief constable, all of it. There is a chain of command. Like say I'm a PC, so I'm a rank 1. I wouldn't dream in IRL driving up to the police blimmin headquarters and saying, "Hi, I want to speak to the commissioner. So I made an arrest and da 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 da." The commissioner's going to be, "Get the fuck out of my office, go see your sergeant and stop wasting my time," because it's slightly different here because we're all in the same building. Okay, we don't have an open door policy here in PD, or we shouldn't do, because Betty is the chief of police basically in this setting, yeah. And so rank 9s are like your station commanders, if you like, or your superintendents, because if you convert the ranks between IRL and this, that is what they are. They are the top. As soon as you come out of the normal police uniform and you start getting different things on your epaulets, that represents the chain of command. They would then take it to that area commander, the area commander, to all of that. But here, you get rank 0s walking up to the commissioner of police. "Hi, mum, I'm ready for my rank up. I've done my blue light course." Do you think the commissioner in real life would give two fucks if you've passed a blue light course? They probably don't even know your name or where you're from. They're not interested. And that's what we're trying to say here. The chain of command must be followed at all times. It's an RP game. We all know that. But with that comes rules, and it's just, I think, so the rank 9s, rank 10s, and rank 11s and rank 12s kind of get bypassed for something that we can do to free up Betty's time. She gets so busy with all the other shit that people bring to her, and she can't actually sometimes get the opportunity to do the things that she might like to do. She can't barely complete her events, for example, because as soon as she logs on, she's on the menu page, she's already getting DMs. "Can I speak to you, Betty? Can I speak to you, Betty?" Speak to a rank 9. If the rank 9 can't help you, they will refer you to a rank 10. That's how it should be. Do you know what I mean? But if the rule is given, it must be followed. A rank 3 could technically say to a rank 2, "Can you please do this for me?" They can't maybe give a direct order as like a general, but the rank 2 should respect the rank 3's experience because they've already gone through what the rank 2 would have gone through. But yeah, exactly. They're still a higher rank. Yeah, go on.
You did, yeah. Yeah, I did say to you, give me a minute because I'm dealing with we were talking about Stephen stuff while we were trying to get caught up on that one.
Did you tell anyone you were on DC though? So that, yeah, because communication goes a long way. If I come down, I mean, when we see Betty standing there, yeah, and she goes a bit quiet, we automatically assume that she's on DC because 99.9% of the time, that's what she's doing. She's probably on DC or she's talking to us now. But what I'm saying is, if there's just a regular officer, so SWAT right down to boot camp, just standing there, you don't really have as much reason to be on DC. Your duties don't really require you to do too much on DC. Yeah, but obviously, if you don't tell us, we don't know. We'll just think you're standing there trying to get out of doing police work like everybody else. If you
Yeah,
just
tell
say I'm on
everybody else
DC,
if you. Yeah, tell everybody else that you're on DC and stuff like that, so they'll understand.
I think what the problem was. So when I
I'm
was there when
sorry.
Rosa
I'm
said,
sorry. Give me just 1 minute, Hunter. I'm sorry. So at the beginning of this conversation, I called you guys to talk about the fact that you are not following the directions that you were being given, and you both stood there saying that Roses was having a disgusting behavior, right? These were your words, not mine, not anyone else's. Do not interrupt me, please. Do not interrupt me, please. I have now watched the body cam evidence, and the only thing that I see Roses doing is asking you to go carry on with your patrols. You spoke over Roses. Dylan, you also spoken over Roses. How was he
No, I
even left the
didn't.
scene and he left the scene and he said, okay, I'm going to go talk to them. How was he having a disgusting behavior? I'm going to forward it to the leads chat now.
You're
I
telling me
think
that
what
raising,
Mrs. is
you're telling me that
referring.
raising voices ain't like it's non-professional. No, that's non-professional.
So if
also, like,
wait there, Hunter. If I've had to repeat myself more than 5 times, I can raise my voice a bit louder if I have to.
And you didn't ask me anything. You come out. I didn't hear you say you wanted to go on patrol. Just logged
And
on the
then
game and I was messaging Betty.
for you to ignore me as well and then go, I'm waiting for Betty. If you're waiting for Betty, you'll be in the building waiting for
I
Betty.
didn't
So
ignore you. I come back in the building. I followed you straight away. I just ran. I
you
just ran
talked over
LT
me again.
Stevens off down to
You
downtown
talked over me again.
because I was doing my police work, and you're trying to assume. I'm
Finished
sorry,
the
but
conversation with you. You just talk over me.
check my body
Was it
cam.
you
I
and
just ran
Marcelo?
LT down to down.
Was it you and Marcelo who were named to downtown? Because I remember seeing
Uh,
something in the lobby about something.
I ran him down to downtown.
Yeah, because I think I said.
And
Yeah, because I think I said you
when
and
when I come
Marcelo, I think.
when I come back to floor one car park, that's when Redcoat Roses, Marcelo, and Marcus were stood there talking, which I stood on the wall to listen. And that
I mean, can I be honest? I agree with all the chain of command and stuff like that. I don't want to talk for too long, so I do agree with all of that. I do agree with like what me and Hunter was talking about. With J Dog and you go out and do it and all that jazz. Um, I think today's been a really stressful day so far. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I have not been part of what happened this morning. I've only had the side of it on DC. And from when I've come on, a lot of people wanting to speak to me, and that's a lot. So I can imagine everybody else in this room is quite, eh, you know, a bit. I don't know the best word. It's been a stressful morning for you all, and if I'm feeling it and I weren't even part of it, you guys must all be feeling it. So
the thing of it is, we were trying to explain all of this. We brought you all back in for your safety to start with. We then communicated in Flobby. We come down and give you a briefing. We sent you out in twos. That's when everything was we were still kind of letting the dust settle and trying to sort things out. So you have to remember, we had all this information coming in. You think you guys were confused? We were probably 20 times more confused and trying to pick through the pieces and decide what the action was that needed to be taken and how we could sort it out really, really quickly. So when orders were given, it was literally to protect you, keep you guys in the loop as best as we could. Every time we had a bit of information, we were updating you. We then said you can now go on patrols, and I put loads of Flobby messages myself saying, stick with twos, make sure your body cam's on, don't do this, do this. If you see LT Stevens and he's breaking the rules, arrest him or use /help. I put all of that information out. So the confusion shouldn't have happened because everything was literally communicated to everybody at the same time through Flobby. Now, putting aside the fact that people are friends and have relationships that have been kind of put in place whilst working alongside each other, which is natural. As soon as somebody crosses that line, okay, and make direct threats at PD, is dismissed and then actually starts carrying out them threats, ramming police vehicles, shooting at police officers, joining gangs, bringing gang members to our place, which is PD. That's when there's no confusion. LT Stevens is pretty much now, if you want, a fugitive. He's an enemy of the state, he's an enemy of the PD because of his own actions. So, friendships, the line has been crossed. When you are on duty as a police officer, as I've said, we do not want to see you standing next to him and endorsing his behavior. I'm not saying that you have. I know. That's what I'm saying, Marcelo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, as the commands were given, we were saying LT Stevens is one to be watched. Keep your cameras off. This is all to protect you guys. We were saying if you are standing out the front of PD and he does something wrong, then you are to be arresting him because friendship aside, he is still breaking the law. This went wrong with MK. As soon as MK left, he went out, and we've lived through this before, and we'll probably live through it again when people leave and are pissed off. So we have each other's backs, and we are looking out for each other. So he is gone. The problem, the PD side in house has now changed. He's no longer a part of PD. So our problem now is dealing with him when he breaks the rules. We don't want officers to get reps for not arresting him if he breaks the rules, because then people will not be carrying out their duties, basically.
Yeah, PD 15.
But just one more thing, and then I'm finished. So, if an order is given, for example, I'm just going to use you as an example, Masale, because it's just sticks in my mind. When Rosa said, "Keep clear of HP for now," and you were then asking for an explanation, lower ranks should not be questioning an order. They just carry it out. It's on one of the interview questions, and it's on the terms of service. How do you respond if a higher up gives you a direct order? So you do the order and you don't question it. Exactly. So that's what we need to start seeing. We don't ask for reasons. We don't need to question it. It's on the terms of service as well. So that just alleviates any hard feeling, because if I'm telling you something because something's just happened, I've got a good reason to ask you to do that. It's not that I'm trying to be difficult or stop you from doing something you want to do. It was a temporary measure. So you understand we're getting bombarded with all this information. We're just quickly trying to cut out. So, don't get the HP because it's like a shitstorm there anyway. We just need to reassess what we're doing, and then everything was kind of lifted. You can go out on patrols in twos, but you didn't want to do that as well, if that makes sense. And the reason was because everyone was even numbers, but we said go out in twos and threes. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not picking on you, by the way, but it's the latest thing that I could remember. So what you should have done is, yeah, no worries, jumped in a car and gone out on patrol, and then come back later when everything's settled, and then you can go to HP, get a VM, go where you want. Honestly, one day when you're standing in this seat, you will completely understand why it feels like we're moaning at you sometimes, because when something happens, we don't just have one officer come and tell us. We have about 20 officers try to tell us the same thing, but it's slightly different. We get tons of body cam that we've then got to pick through and decide, the version of the story that actually is the most accurate. Um, and that's why we were just saying, give us a break, go do your patrols, let us get back to you. But we just didn't get that opportunity because people weren't following orders, questioning orders. Obviously, LT Stevens ordered his rampage, so we were just trying to sort things out. I really hope you understand that. Like, we're not trying to stop people doing stuff. We're literally just trying to do what we need to do whilst keeping you lot safe and rep free and not getting in trouble by state.
I mean, instead of standing here, can we go to this backup call quick outside because he's now shooting?
Yeah, it's been.
Miss
Yeah, that's
Area?
the problem. See, that's what I said. If they're going to be outside, they need to be arresting. You go, you arrest, you bring them
Yeah,
in.
I'm going.
There can be no
Moving
chilling.
in.
Let's go.
Highland.
We say this every time there's issues outside PD, every time there's ex-officers. Do not hang outside PD. We have a massive, massive city with criminals to catch. A massive one.
That's fine. Attend to the backup, deal with it. Shoot people who are shooting you, arrest people that you can arrest, and then clear the area. Once the scene is cleared from the front of PD, there's no reason to be hanging around outside waiting for it to restart, because we all know once these people respawn in HP or whatever, or they come out of prison, they're going to be straight back out the front trying to do exactly the same again. It's a fun zone. Betty has said this a million times. Don't give them the fun. Deal with the incident. Once the incident is over, retreat and continue on your normal, regular police duties.
Don't even give them any extra. Give them the basic of basic RP as well. Like, we're doing the RP as we're being police officers and stuff like that. But don't even give them all the flair and stuff that we would give some people. Make it very basic for them. They get bored. Oh, and it's hard.
Yeah, I do think there's something you need to say to Big Roses, and I am really disappointed. It's, you know, you and Dylan stood here saying how disgusting his behavior was, and like when I get the body cam, both me and Mrs. P saw it, and he was just doing his job in a polite manner, in a really polite manner. If we know Roses, it was in a really polite manner.
Can I be honest with you, Marcelo? And I've said this to Roses. I've made no secret of it with him, bless him. Um, he gets, he has a tone to his voice that he can't help. He was born with that tone.
But
Okay,
he
I'm not
didn't.
saying he never gets
He
arsey.
did it in the body
Yeah,
cam that we see. He didn't.
yeah. This is what I'm getting onto. He gets some jib, sometimes when he's trying to give authority, and people take it as harsh because he's using his voice, and
Hi, Ozzy, you okay?
he, I'll be too soft. Listen to my soft,
Caden,
sweet
this
voice,
end,
Fantastic.
please. This end.
But then you
Yeah,
have one
this end.
officer who's got
Thank you.
a
Taking it
manly
very urgent,
voice,
that's why.
and some people take that as very harshly. Like Miss Ara just said this video out there, but yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because a lot of times people think that with Roses, but if you just listen to the words he's saying, he's not saying anything wrong, you know? And the tone people take funny when it's not, he's not being toneful. Oh, give me a minute, my brain ain't working. It's because I'm trying to watch and talk. Ignore me a second.
It's alright, I know
Just
you're just
watching
trying to be
and
nice for me. It's alright, we know.
so I have said to you before though, Roses, like it ain't. Like,
Oh well, that's what he gets.
Well,
Wow.
that's not really.
And
That's not
I
really.
live with somebody who's got a tone, you know. He doesn't mean to do it half the time. And you'll say to him, you know, why are you being funny? He'll be like, "Oh, I'm not. I just said this," you know. And then you sit there afterwards and you're like, yeah, actually, he did just say that. Like, it's his fault. The voice he's got. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's not what this is. To be honest with you, that's
Not
different.
that.
And I
I've
think
come out. I've come outside. Right. I've asked for all of your attention. You even said yes, sir. You even said yes, sir. I've asked you all to go on your patrols around the city. You just stood there and ignored me. And I asked again. I wasn't finished speaking. I wasn't finished speaking. And then I asked again. And then you just stood there, carried on. And I asked again. And then when Thingy finished off speaking with Redcoat, I said your name and you carried on speaking with Redcoat. So I asked you multiple times, more than 4 times I've asked you, and you ignored me and disobeyed my order. If I've, if I've had
You were
to
still
repeat,
giving him back chat though, Marcelo, when he was telling you.
You were constantly speaking over him. Whenever he said something, you would give something back to him right away. You wouldn't even finish him speaking. We've all watched it.
What you've got to understand, guys, is when Rosie's is actually speaking like that, that is how Rosie's actually does speak. So sometimes it does come up like around, like, say he's rude, but that is actually how he actually does speak.
He speaks with passion.
Yeah, yeah. So if you don't listen to him the first time, he's gonna go a little bit higher. And then if you keep doing it like you were doing and then back chatting him as you were walking off, then it's, you know.
when I've had to repeat myself more than 4 times, and then you just stood there as well. But then when you spoke to him, you said to him, "Don't worry, I DM you instead." So all of that you could have just DM'd him in the first place. So disobeying me. Look, this is what I mean. You're not letting me finish speaking. I'm not speaking because no one. You don't let me finish. People don't let me finish.
I've just killed him and he's back already. This guy's breaking cooldown. I just smoked him.
with the
You need
breaking
the admin to
cooldown,
freeze you.
what Redcoat said was right. I had a couple of officers the other night do it, and there was people that broke cooldown, and I was like, I'll get admin, and I had to say to him, it was lower ranks, and I had to say to him, admin have no idea what time they died or anything. You have to show that they've broke cooldown, or else are they gonna know? And they was kind of quiet. It had never occurred to them that they would have to show that. They knew they could show that the person was there, but it never occurred to them that they would have to show the first bit of evidence to show the time of when they actually died and the time, the second bit when they was there. I think maybe I've been thinking of it for a bit. Me and Charlotte said about taking people to, you know, the meet the admins thing, and we got the wrong one. We for the anyone can ask any questions they wanted. We went to the meet the admins, but that seemed to be more of a if you was interested in being an admin at some point, asking what the roles was and stuff. We wanted to go to what was it called? It was the one where you could question any rules and see if you could bring one in and ask the reasons behind a rule. Yeah, I really do think that we need to have. I mentioned to Roses, I think it was a couple of days ago, or yesterday. We need to have like a course, like you know where we have the weekly meetings. We need to have like a day where anyone can come and ask any admin questions, like rule questions, which for us, not admin rules, I mean things with PD, sorry. And we can talk through the arrest procedure and stuff like that, because Rosie's noticed something yesterday on a rank 5. He seemed very reluctant to arrest, like he didn't weren't very confident to, and he's already a rank 5. The problem is, once you get to rank 5, they're not going to want to ask any more questions because they think they should already know it. And if we're getting people think they can get admin down to for the break of the cooldown, like unless you had to be lucky enough with admin actually watching right there that minute, like yeah, you'd have to do a green ticket. It might help a bit because people call down admin when things are just ticket worthy.
Dylan, you asked what you did wrong in that situation. You were given a direct instruction, and you said that you were waiting for Betty, and that you were not going to leave.
And
I'm hanging around the station. That's not how it works. Even if you are waiting for Betty, Betty will message you when she's ready. In the meantime, you do need to follow through with the instruction you're given.
ask Betty, yes or no, Betty, was I waiting for you though? 10 minutes prior to this.
We know
15
you
minutes
were
prior.
waiting for Betty. Betty told us you were waiting for her. She was having a discussion with us. Regardless of that, if you are given an instruction, you do need to.
The problem's what? Because I said I'm in and around PD helping the low ranks. Well, I don't get your problem. Like, surely the low ranks should need help in PD. If there's no one here to apply violations, then what? I don't get what I was doing wrong.
That's not what you said, was it? That was not what you said. You said, I'm waiting for Betty. I'm hanging around the station.
In and around PD helping is the same thing, man. That is what I said.
How is that the same thing?
It might not explain the same, but I said I'm in and around helping.
Honestly,
look, you don't let me speak. You don't let me speak.
Because you keep interrupting me, sir.
I didn't. I let you speak then. You didn't let me speak.
Has he not interrupted me? Has he not interrupted me?
Wait a minute,
Yeah.
let Miss Aria finish and explain what she's, because you don't understand, so she's trying to explain it to you.
Regardless of that, Dylan, regardless of what you were doing, you were receiving an. Don't turn your back on me. Face forward, please.
I can still hear you, man.
Face forward, please.
Come on, thank you. We don't need to get to that point. We can just have a conversation. We don't need to get to any of that.
Regardless of what you're saying, Dylan, you are given an instruction. You follow it. Simple. There's no arguing there. There's no valid argument for that, especially after seeing the body cam. Especially after seeing you both standing here saying that he had a disgusting behavior when in reality you both were the ones that were disrespecting him.
Like what I said in the first place, though, he come out and said about patrols, which you see my body cam. I've run back from chasing LT off. I don't know what's been said. So what do you want me to do?
So I think we're all on the same page, regardless on, like you're saying, Dylan, what you've just said. I think we are all on the same page here about the chain of command and things. And yeah, I did watch the body cam. I don't think Roses was rude there, just saying what he had to say. I get what you're saying, Marcelo. You was waiting for admin, but can you imagine? Yeah, think of it this way. Yeah, I know admins are our gods and stuff like that. I say that all the time. But in the sense of when Roses comes to you, Roses is actually the person who's higher there, even though admin's there, because admin hasn't called for you. You've called for admin, and admin's trying to get away to finish their duties. So it's Roses as your superior who's asking, come on, let's crack on. So I get what you're saying. I do understand, like what I was talking with admin, but that conversation was done. I don't think there needs to be the back and forth. If you don't see, for me, there was many a times when I was told something I might not have agreed with or understood, and I just cracked on. It's like, oh, okay, then you get it done, because where's the benefit? Even if you don't care about anybody else, think to yourself, future me. What does future me want? And what does future me need to do now well, what does me now need to do for future me to get that? Like for an example, I said it in my general when we had to have interviews for our suits, and yeah, that was one of the things I was asked, like, what do you do, which you think helps you with issues? And I said, like, I hate washing up. Like, honest to God, I hate it. I hate it with a passion. If I wake up in the morning and I see washing up in my sink, I'm in a mood all day, fell mood all day. So I said, well, Betty now thinks of future Betty. So Betty now will wash up even though I don't want to do it. So future Betty in the morning is happy. Start thinking like that. Even if you don't necessarily agree with something, what do you need now for future? What do we need to do now? Is the argument going to affect anything now and anything about that?
So I noticed that Dylan just said about obviously Rose's raising his voice. Like, we've all been guilty of that. But the thing of it is, like, if I was going to particularly pick on that single issue, I'd have to think about times in the past where maybe I've raised my voice. Dylan, I'm just going to use you as an example because you were the one that brought the comment up. How many times a day do you raise your voice when somebody isn't listening or over talking you, sir?
Not many, to be honest. I actually don't. I'll admit that.
But you do over talk and you do get stressed out. We all know that. It's it's just one of those things. Like, you'll repeat the same word or phrase multiple times until you're heard. So Rose has come out and asked you to do something politely. I've watched the body cam, and he's getting two officers that are not complying with his command. So, he said it a couple of times. Then, yeah, maybe his voice was slightly raised, but it still wasn't in a impolite manner, in my opinion.
I can't comment because I've not watched it.
Oh, you've been left out, Ireland. I'm only playing. Where is he? I'm just teasing him. So yeah, we don't all need to agree. Like I said, we just need to understand and move forward. Conversations like this where I'm in the office are not meant to bash anybody. They're not meant to make anybody feel crap. They are not meant to single anybody out. I see people get very disheartened when they get brought in the office and said they've done something that people don't agree with, and I get it. I do. Um, for myself though, I'm one of these people that I would just rather have a conversation. I will say to you if I don't think you've done something that I agree with. I don't mean I'll hate by it. I would hope we can have a conversation about it and get on the same page the best we can moving forward. So being brought in here, like especially you, Dylan, please don't see it as you're being bashed. Conversations. There's no way. It's a bit like being born. There's no way you can make it all through your life without getting scars. It's impossible. There's no way people can come for a PD without having a conversation in the office at some point. It doesn't have to be worse than it has to be. We can just accept that sometimes things don't work the way we want them to. For whatever reason, doesn't matter the situation, we can accept that things don't work and we can try and fix them, have a conversation, move forward. That conversation doesn't need to linger. For me, whenever I've had that conversation, if anything's come from it, it's been done, we move forward. I don't like to linger on things. We press restart. So there's no need for anything to continue after this meeting, to be honest, because it wouldn't do for myself. And also, I know my leadership team, they are the same like that. Once it's been spoke about and done with and we're on the same page, we crack on. I don't like lingering on
Not
things.
gonna lie, I don't agree.
Okie doke, that's fine. We don't always have to agree, Roses. We just have to
My
understand and move forward.
opinion, my opinion, I
Sorry, that was a
believe they
joke.
should. My opinion, I believe they should both get a PD6 for disobeying.
So when I said we all move forward, I really need to explain myself better sometimes. I never meant that nothing comes out of a situation. I meant with a situation. I meant with a situation that when we deal with a situation, we move forward. Whether that's dealing this conversation or anything after it, that is what it is. But after it's done with, we move forward. I'm saying that because Dylan seemed to be a little bit disheartened, and I don't want that to move forward anymore. It's okay that you're disheartened. It's okay that you don't understand the situation why people are speaking to you. That's fine. We just need to be able to talk about it and not have it
Please.
be an effect when we leave the room.
Sorry, mum. Dylan's put on the chat. My opinion. Do that. Dismiss me.
It's the fact that you are not taking accountability for what happened. That's even the worst part. Oh, of course, carry on. I'm logging off in our faces.
Sorry to interrupt you there, everyone. It's just what I've just seen then.
It's not that. I asked multiple times, and then for you two to come in here, make out that I was rude and disgusting behaviour, that's false allegations on me as well. I don't like. We could have moved forward if you come up here and admitted what you've done and apologised and left it at that. For making false allegations on my name as well, for me to come on and hear that as well, that's a bit mean. For how much I've done for you as well, Marcelo, I think that's a bit rude.
Can anybody else hear him properly, or is that weird?
I can hear him. No, I can hear you, sir.
Hi, Helper Rick. You okay, sir?
Hello, sir.
You're right, sir.
Keeps doing it, Dylan, doesn't it?
Fuck it, it's jarring. It's doing my head. Absolute doing my head in.
Hello? Can we help you?
You okay, Rick, sir? Oh, right. Good luck. I can't help you with that. I've never had to do it before.
Say that again, Marcelo. You guys can go. Thank you.